All right, it's another day in the 20s here in Ohio. It is pretty chilly. My goal for today is to get this guy in a much better position. I just finished the video on the Arctic cat the other day, and unfortunately, it still has a little bit of love it needs. I'll show you when I hop on it here in a bit. But basically, what's happening is when you get anywhere in the mid to high throttle, it's kind of has a bit of a stutter in it, so you'll be like like it, it kind of jumps on you. So I'm gonna hop on here. I'll show you what I mean. It's really when I'm kind of gunning it anywhere from half to mid. So let's go ahead, and I've already ridden it a couple times. And also I realized I think in my video I was like, I don't know where the coolant goes when you don't have an overflow box. Well, I know where it goes now. So I forgot there's a tiny hose coming out the cap here, and yeah, this is where it all goes. So whenever there's back pressure in your coolant without the overflow, it shoots out this hose. So it was spraying coolant all down the side of my the vehicle here when I was riding it. So definitely would rather have an overflow box to do that. So but yeah, so let's go ahead and fire this thing up. It's running very consistent. I thought maybe it was the CDI because I have that aftermarket big gun over rev limiter, bypass CDI on there. And I put an OEM on there and it still does it. So it's not CDI related. It also has an aftermarket coil, so it's possible that it's the coil and it's just bad spark and we need to throw an OEM on there. But what I think is the most likely is it's just running too rich. And I think there's just not enough fuel when you're really gunning it. It pops a little bit every once in a while when you let off the gas real quick. So it's definitely running rich in general. But yeah, let's go ahead and fire her up. Just gonna steal this carburetor out of here real quick. See what we got going on the bottom. It's so windy today. All my barn doors are just smacking. You can hear them in the background going crazy. But I think he said this one has the 22.5 stock idle jet, so we're definitely going to bump that up. That oftentimes will fix the popping when you're dropping it too fast. But at the same time, I feel like it's just running running lean in general. So I'm hoping we can just bump this main jet up one notch and maybe we'll be good to go. I have plenty of jets to throw at it, so that's kind of my hope, is this is an easy fix. And then the coolant overflow, still not sure what exactly I'm going to do because of the way that it looks. They like JB welded the whole side of it like it was damaged right here. And so I'm trying to think if I can thread tap it because they got a bunch of JB weld inside of those holes. Not sure if I'm going to be able to thread tap that or not. So let me go grab my flatheads. All right, so let's take this pilot out real quick. Oh man, it's in there. Gotta love it when you can see your breath while working on cold metal objects. Tell you what, any of you guys that have heated barns, you guys are blessed. Remember that. Anytime you watch my videos, I'm out here freezing my tush off. Y'all got the blessings for sure. So, it's a little dark over here in this part of the barn, but nevertheless, we got them. So, let's take a look at these real quick. So the Raptor I went to rebuild it yesterday, and unfortunately, the rings I ordered were freaking. They were 50 millimeter over, or 0.50 millimeter oversized rings, so I had to put that on halt for another week. And obviously, on the Polaris 500, you saw that I jacked that up and snapped the shift shaft off like an idiot. So let's look at this real quick. 22.5, like he said, and I think he said a 160. Yep, looks like a 160. Looks good. Let's go ahead and hop in here. And 160. Let's grab a 165. It's a 167.5. It's quite a bit bigger, but it's the next size up I have. So we'll try this real quick. And then on the, I don't think I have a 25, do I? Yes, I still have a 25 on the Pilot. So luckily we have that. Let's go ahead and drop these in real quick. It's a little bit of a big jump doing both of them at the same time, but honestly, I think it'll be fine. We'll know if it's getting too much fuel. You know, it won't run right. So it's a 165. And then we got the 25 Pilot. I don't really care about the splash guard things. Almost all my bikes I've ran without splash guards, and I've never noticed any issues. I think it becomes an issue if you're like ramping. Let me know in the comments if you know, but like, how much of a difference does it make having the splash guards if you don't ramp? I feel like it's only for people doing like crazy stunts, you know, hitting some serious jumps or whatever, and it's splashing around a lot more. But me personally, never been an issue. So all right, that's the first time I think I got in this carb. I don't remember if I got in this one in the video or not, but I'm gonna get these screws on and we'll be back. I'm really debating how much to sell this Arctic Cat for. It has no stickers. It's missing the front little green flare guys. They're real small, but it's definitely takes away from the look, especially without the stickers. It's kind of basic. And then it's also, I mean, it is titled, but it's winter season. Like, this is so far from peak season. Like, it is hard to sell. Not only like an LTZ400, you know, maybe not too bad, but top it off with it's an Arctic Cat, you know, like I don't know who's all buying Arctic Cats. I think this is one of the exceptions for Arctic Cats because, you know, it's basically an LTZ400. But like, generally speaking, I don't think people get too excited for buying Arctic Cats. Maybe that's just me, but all right, let's go ahead and feed this guy back up and then I'll be back. You know, I was thinking about buying, talking about Arctic Cats, I almost bought an Arctic Cat today. It was some weird 4x4 335 or something. Arctic Cat. It was red. And the guy only wants $900 for it, and he says that it runs, but it either bogs out, or he said when you put it in gear, it just doesn't run well. He said it doesn't go fast. And I said, well, is it bogging out? Or is it, you know, engaged and the engine's running fine and it's not moving fast? And he's like, I don't know what you mean. And so I was like, well, dang it, I don't want to drive an hour and 10 minutes just to figure out the answer to that question and then be, you know, pretty unhappy with it. But it's $900 for a 4x4 that's running. He said it idles great. And I'm like, man, 4x4s this time of the year, like that's my bread and butter for easy money. But it was missing the two side plastics, the ones that cover like all your engine stuff, like right here. And I didn't like that at all. I felt like that was like the primary reason I didn't go get it. I was like, I looked it up on eBay, and you genuinely could not find any plastics, let alone side plastics for that weird Arctic Cat. So it's one of those things where like, Yeah, maybe it'd be a okay running bike, but how easy can you sell a sideless Arctic Cat in the middle of December? Um, it's like it is a 4x4 though, and assuming it's just like carb issues, maybe. I don't know how. Maybe I messed up. I don't know. Let's go ahead and I think she's all hooked up. We got fuel, carbs hooked up correctly. We don't need choke because it's still warm. I still have the OEM CDI on here. I don't really need that anymore. I think pretty confident it's not the CDI. So, okay, we got the 167.5 main jet, and we have the 25 idle jet. Let's see what she does. So I think the idle jet is too high. Might be able to turn in the fuel screw, but I'm going to go ahead and put the other idle jet back in. I'm thinking maybe I don't swap out the idle jet quite yet. Maybe I instead do the just see where the fuel screw is, because right now, honestly, I don't know where it's at. It might be at 4 turns for all I know. Let's check that real quick. Get my little flat head here. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my gosh. Over 4.5 turns. That is insane. Okay. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Let's try 2.5 turns here. I did 5 half turns, so yeah, that's insane for a 25 pilot jet to be maxed out. That sucker was getting lit. I mean, quite a bit of fuel. So I still need to get a clamp for this for the back here on this guy back here, just kind of sitting there, and it's not right at all. It's driving me nuts. But for now, what I do is I just tighten these two down while it has some pressure on it, kind of like that, and then I tighten this. It's hard to keep pressure on it when that intake is just like free balling. But as long as it's generally pulling out of there, I think it's good enough for testing purposes. And then before I sell it, I'll throw a legit clamp on there. So, but this should be enough to see if it's not crazy idling high. Basically, if your throttle itself isn't sticking, but your idle's still being hesitant on the way down, it's definitely going to be too much fuel coming in through your idle jet. Okay, I think I got her on. Let's see if it does it now. Oh yeah, way less of an idle. Also, I don't have any fuel hooked up, so that's the thing. Let's try it now. Okay, so basically, we definitely made it worse. What's really interesting is that it was still popping even more. So like it was acting like it was running lean, even though I was giving it a lot of throttle. So that makes me think we need to be messing with the upper end of the carburetor and not the bottom end. So basically, we need the needle to be moved, pulling up sooner so that it's giving it more fuel earlier. And then, yeah, we might need to drop the main jet down now. But for now, I think we just changed that needle clip position. We might have to use spacers. I'll show you guys how I do it. This is essentially my series of events for tuning a LTZ400. I've done this on quite a few ones, but it's really just trying to figure out what exactly your carburetor is doing. And hey, maybe I'm not doing it right. Maybe I'm crazy. But yeah, this is just how I do it, and it takes a bit of time. It helps. Dang, that sucker's not coming off. It helps being quick at taking the stuff off. There we go. But my best bet is that this guy needs to be dropped a hair more, and then it does have a bigger bore on it, but he said it is stock cams, but it does have an HMF exhaust, and in my past, the HMFs, man, they flow a lot, so I'm kind of not too scared of having a 167 on there, but at the same time, you know, it is what it is. Okay, let's see where we're at here. This is the stock carburetor and slide. That's so nice. These are so expensive. All right, let's see what it had. It did have shim and spacer, and the top one. Everything here looks correct. Interesting, because it seems like it wants. He's even got. There was 2 spacers on there. The popping is almost always lean, but there's only supposed to be 1 spacer between the plastic spacer and then the bottom of the needle. It is coming up really hard. I'm curious. Shimming it more almost seems crazy to me. I'm actually curious if we drop it, if it makes it even worse. So let's go ahead. We're going to take out the bigger shim here and go with the smaller one and see if it makes it worse. If it makes it worse, then we definitely need to go up. But that spacing is, that's kind of aggressive. So we'll go ahead and put this back in. And just like this, everything is good there. Nothing is off. And I just lost it. Okay. Perfect. And click her in. That is, but it's definitely not coming out. So we did bump this further down for testing purposes. In my head, it's popping, so it's running rich, and this should, in theory, make it worse. So if my theory is correct, it will pop even more. Range. Yeah, you can hear it. That right there, what that's doing right there is it doesn't have enough in the mid-range. It's running too lean. So the second you drop down to idle, there wasn't enough fuel in there, and that back pressure causes that pop. So we definitely need to go the other way on the needle. That's good. We'll figure that out. All right, well, I just realized that all my riding audio sounded like hot garbage because of this little clip-on mic I have. So from now on, I need to record it with the without this clip-on mic. I don't know why. Like, it sounds good if you're just talking in it, but the second you turn an engine on, it sounds horrible. I definitely didn't realize that until all my videos of me running it. So I apologize for the video I'm cutting out, but yeah, I'm gonna have to do some edits on that one. All right, so what we're doing is basically I dropped the needle and it was popping more in the mid, which was what I expected. I would give it like a third throttle, let go real quick, and you would get a pop. So the needle is definitely needs to go higher up. I will show you what I'm gonna do. So this prior person had this is the standard setup. Oh, I dropped it. The standard setup is one shim up here, the plastic one, and then the little one. But the oh, where did I put it? Here we go. he had one more extra shim on here, which was pretty close, but honestly, I think it needs another shim. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rob a plastic shim over here. If I have one. Huh. All right, well, I can't find one, so we'll just go with the thick shim, and we'll add one more. Let's see. So this is one more shim on there, and now there's 3. Kind of feel like it needs a 4th. And this one's thick. We'll bump it 1 thick, and if it's not just right, then we'll do another thin. But basically, we added only 1 thin so far, because I already had the thick on there. So you can shim these quite a bit. You just can't shim them too far before it makes it non-functional. So we'll take this shim over there, and hopefully this will be good enough to where we're not popping in the mid. And then, yeah, we'll see if it fixes the upper range too. I might also need to just adjust the valves, because I'm realizing that I never did that on this bike. So yeah, it's quite possible that the valves need shimmed. A lot of people don't want to deal with shimming the valves. They don't have kits. Actually, this guy did have a kit. He gave me a kit, so I feel like if any of them should be shimmed, it should be the one where the guy gave me the kit. But yeah, let's see. Nope, that did not click in. This is the most feisty one I've ever had. There we go. I don't know why it's so different, but it does not click in like the other ones. All right, let's drop this back in and test her out. All right, see how she sounds now. Apparently it's in gear. Alright, I want to see how she rides. See if she's any better. Is that noise? Oh. I think I left my flathead in a bad spot. Alright, well, I didn't hear any popping at this point. I feel like we've definitely fixed a lot of the lean issues on it. But it still wants to do that sound, so I feel like the carburetor is pretty good. It's very responsive, and when it's actually flowing, like, man, it feels really good. It's got a lot of power, a lot of torque, so I feel like it might not be in the carburetor, so it might actually be in the valves, or it could be the aftermarket coil giving it poor spark. So I think we'll start with the coil, because that's really easy. So Let's do that. Yo, I hate taking out these gas tanks on this Arctic Cat, man. It's stupid difficult. I don't think I can get to the coil without doing it. And I really have these plastics on, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do this now that I have the clips on here. I got to take them off. You know what I was thinking was I might as well get in here and check my valve clearances. See if we can solve the mysterious ticking noise going on. Because I already have the gas tank off. That's the hardest part about these Arctic Cats is getting the dang gas tank out of the way. Things are freaking mean. But yeah, we put the auto tensioner on there thinking that would fix the ticking noise, and it did not. So I want to go ahead and look in here real quick. Looks nice and clean in there. Let's go ahead and get it top dead center real quick. Yeah, I just noticed this. I have a feeling that, yeah, it's not going to do anything. Going to have to use a flathead. Oh, the joys of stripped out. I actually have a brand new one of these. Let me get my hammer. This one's not brand new, but I have a brand new one. Just don't know. There it is. Check it out now. This is why you order doubles, man. Makes your life so much better. Alright, so all we have to do is get this one off, and then we'll be fine. This shall prove to be fun. This groove right here is not very nice. It's not very deep for getting the actual thing to turn. Yeah, I like this one way better, but it's not at the right spot, really. Dang it. What do they say? 1 good hit's better than 10 bad hits? It's not working. Oh, I hate it when this happens. Yeah. Gosh. Yep. That's what happens. It ends up just chipping it away. But maybe I can get a little deeper now because I have a better angle. Oh, gosh. Yes. All right, now she's moving. That's how it's done. All right, and then we'll put the new one back on afterwards. We'll be good. Okay. Ta-da. Got a 17 millimeter. All right. Get her to top dead center. You can't see it, but we got it right there. All right, top dead center. Let's go get our size testers. The heck are those things called? Your valve. Shoot. What are they called? Valve lash testers. Valve. These things. What the heck are these things called? Can't think of it. Whatever. All right. Intake should be 10 to 20. Let's do a 10. Or sorry, let's do a 20. Huge. Huge. Massive intake. What is going on? Am I crazy? What the heck? Let's try a 30. Those seemed massive. Oh my gosh, I can fit a 30 in there, no problem. Oh my. Well, I think it's safe to say that the intake shims are way out of spec. Big. Oh man, that is crazy. No wonder it's so loud. Well, I think we solved the ticking noise. All right, guys. The LTZs might be the most versatile engine of all, man. Look at this. I don't know if you can see this. This is a 40. No, it's upside down. This is a 0.48 millimeter, right? This is intake. I fit earlier. Give me a second. Are you seeing that? It's snug, but it legitimately fits a 48. This one also fits a 48. So here's what we ended up at. 48. This intake was a 43. This one was a 38. Incredibly off. Oh, never mind. I didn't keep going on this one. This is a 60 on the exhaust here. We're at 60 when the top is supposed to be 30. How does this engine even run? That's crazy. All right, well, I was wrong. I didn't keep going. We got a 65 here on the exhaust, and what do you know? She fits. Can you believe that? This LTZ actually runs. It doesn't run great, but it runs with a 65 millimeter or 0.65 on the exhaust, a 0.38. This one's not too far off, actually. This is probably the only reason it ran okay. The intakes were over twice out of spec. That is crazy. Let's go ahead and get that fixed. All right, I got this completely done. So it ended up, the exhaust was 0.48 millimeters on this one, 0.65 millimeters on this one. So this one was 0.40 millimeters off. That's the furthest off I've ever seen one. That's pretty wild. The intakes were 43. Now it's 15. And this one was a 48. Now it's a 14. And yeah, so now we're in clearance. I'm almost certain that's going to fix the ticking noise. I genuinely am just so surprised that this thing ran. That's crazy. But while I was working on this, I noticed something. So I took off the little oil box here, the reservoir one. Or not the reservoir, but this one. And look what came out of it. That is definitely some milky oil. You can see right there. There's some milky oil that got sent up in here. So now I'm questioning if there was somehow water in here and it mixed, or if it's oil inside of the machine. Anytime I'm working up here, there was a lot of oil up here. It was well oiled, and none of it smelled like coolant, and it looked very normal. But I think we're going to have to drain the oil on this, which I'm going to do anyways. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and put everything back together. And I'm not even going to swap out this coil. I feel like it's going to run great now because that was insane. So let's go ahead and put this back together and give her a rip. All right, so you guys just witnessed the insanity of how far the valves were off, the valve clearances were off on this machine. I got it all back together, got the fuel hooked up. We should be good to go. Let's see if she runs great now. Please work. Cold now. Gonna have to choke it. It's so much quieter. Oh, I need to bump the idle up a hair. Oh my gosh, it is so much quieter now. sounds so much better. No ticking noise whatsoever. Nice and quiet. I'm gonna let her warm up and then we'll take a ride. But well, it must have gotten below freezing for once, because now it's turning from a snow into a rain. So we got a little bit of a wet ride now, but she should be pretty warm by now. Let's give her a go. Beads of ice. Ah, she's so much quieter. Well, unfortunately, it still felt like it was cutting out mid-ride. I don't know if you could hear it, but man, those little beads of ice are just like little pebbles hitting my face at like 35 miles an hour. That was not enjoyable. Alright, so she's very poppy right now. With the valves changing that much, it's quite possible that we're flowing a lot better than we were before. And so it makes me wonder if now we need even more fuel, because it was like over dumping out with the timing being wrong. But we're definitely still popping. I think we'll turn the fuel screw for that, and then I can't tell on the upper end if it's even getting enough. It's really just feels like it doesn't have enough fuel. Like it gets really like it's lean. So I don't know. I don't feel like I should be able to go higher than a 167. There's like, that's a really big jet. So we'll open up that idle screw real quick. We'll try that first. If that doesn't work, then we're going bigger on the main jet, because I mean, I don't know what else it needs. It's not bogging out like it's running out of fuel. It's like popping like it's too lean. So I mean, everything with popping tends to be lean. So let's give that a go. I think so. Right now we are at 2.5 turns out. With how much it's popping, I feel like we need to do at least a half turn. I'm going to do a half turn and a quarter more. So that puts us at, what, 3.25 now? And then we'll shove this back in and see what she does. All right, we're doing 3.25 turn. Try this out. Always has a higher idle when you adjust that fuel screw. You know, it's almost like it is thinking it needs rev limited, because you can tell how much higher the RPMs wanted to go, but I was only like halfway through. Listen to it. All right, I took my lunch, got a little brain fuel, and I was thinking it over, and basically it only does it basically at one point, which is like when you're at like, I don't know, a third of the way through the RPMs on your way up. And I really give it quite a bit more. I feel like it's actually still a mid issue and not a limiter issue. I cleaned that all out, didn't fix it. So I'm feeling like we just need to bump up the needle, maybe one more shim, and I'm hoping that'll do it. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, we bumped her up one more notch. We should know pretty quick if this did work or not. Felt good. I feel like I heard it for a second though. Dang it. Still does it. I bumped that needle up so high at this point. The only other thing it could be is that the main jet's not big enough for how much flow that this exhaust has. But man, would I be surprised if it just didn't have enough on the main jet. Let's go ahead and try it though. Alright, so we have a 167.5. See if we got a 170. Here's a 172.5. Let's give that one a go. All right, this is a pretty big jet. 172.5. Why do I feel like this is not going to do it? I think that answers the question. We needed to go down in jet size and not up. I think that might do the trick. So let's go ahead and swap that out. And I think she'll be good. All right, we are back to a 160. I think this should do it. Please work. Felt so much better. Let's go ahead and get on the road real quick. So much better. I think we got her. All right, so we finally got her dialed in. The 160 main jet was actually correct. I upped the jet
because we were running rich, but instead I needed to move the needle up instead of the main jet. So as soon as I bumped it up another notch, it made the condition worse. So we knew as clear as day that we needed to drop the main jet back down. And once we got the mid right where it needed to be, I put that 160 back on, and now she's running crisp. I think the biggest deal was fixing those valves. I mean, they were so far off. Let me know in the comments, what's the furthest you've ever seen valves off? I mean, that was by far the worst. I've had valves where I couldn't adjust them anymore to get them within spec, but these ones were, I mean, 0.40 millimeters off. I mean, that's pretty massive. So I really do like the flow on these HMFs. They're really nice, and I still need to check the oil on this, but I am running out of daylight. It doesn't look that dark, but I have like 30 minutes, and yeah, let me know if you think the oil is gonna have coolant in it. I'm not sure if it was just a little bit of water in here that mixed with the gas, but when I took that out and it spilled, it definitely had milky oil. So I think in the next vlog video I'll probably show you know, what's going on there. But yeah.
All right, so here's that Arctic Cat I was talking about. It's an 08 366. It's a 4x4, and it, like I said, it's missing those side plastics. But if you look at these photos, like, I don't know, it just looks pretty clean. And this is the one where he said where if you put it in gear and give it gas, it doesn't go very fast. He said that's how he worded it. But he has it for 12. He said he'd do 9, and I bet he's willing to do 800. He just wants this thing gone. Let me know what you think on that one. I think Arctic Cats are hard to sell, so I was kind of iffy on that one. And then I also was thinking about this 06 RM85 two-stroke. And so in the video, it actually runs, if you watch, he's got a running video, said it runs great, and it sounds good, but it's got all kinds of issues. He said needs sprocket, rear shocks, and chain to ride as should, and also could use brakes and plastics and a brake lever. The plastics don't look too bad to me, but the biggest thing is like, he said there's a big dent in the exhaust, apparently. It must be on the other side. The tires are clearly shot, and when I was looking at it, there's clearly no brake line hooked up here. And I asked him, I said, is there any rear brake on this at all? And he said no. So you're talking rear shock, rear brakes, tires, brake lever. It's quite a bit when you add it all up, and I just feel like, I don't know. Unless like you would do like 300, which I don't think he's going to do. He's got it at 550, but let me know what you guys think on that.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys watching. Oh man, I got mud on my face. This is a different channel just for like being more chill, talking while I'm working on stuff. A little less intentional, but still going through the mechanics of the machine and really dialing things in and talking about what's going on at the shop. So if you guys like it, let me know. But otherwise, my more, you know, intentional and you know, my normal videos will be on my main channel. But either way, I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.